the way we're going to do it today at Fox. Down and dirty, getting ready for the Falcons and the Giants. And with the Falcons, a dome team at home, playing outside where they were 2-2 during the regular season. 44-degree day, and the wind at 11 miles per hour. We know that the Saints are moving on, and they will be in San Francisco on Saturday. We know that Mike Smith and his Falcons last year, Troy, the #1 seed, and they were knocked out in the divisional weekend by the Green Bay Packers. You see that great regular season record, but so far Smith and Ryan 0-2 in the playoffs.
Yeah, there's no question that Mike Smith has done a terrific job, as we see, since taking over as the head coach. Jimmy Johnson talked about it there on the pregame show as far as the pressure that is on the Atlanta Falcons, on Mike Smith, and on Matt Ryan after starting out 0-2 in the postseason. It'll be important for them to get off to a good start here.
There are plenty of great quarterbacks who have started out 0-2 in their postseason career. Matt Ryan trying to win his first and trying to do it on the road. Giants will start with a football today. Kicks it away with Jernigan waiting deep, and he'll take it out. And with his body flying across the 20, knocked down to the 25 by Darren Walls. 27-yard return, and when you look at the numbers, Eli Manning with all the focus on Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers had the 6th highest passing yardage total this season in NFL history.
You know, really a great year for Eli Manning. As we know, a team that came in offensively expecting to be able to run the ball better than they have, and it's been the right arm of Manning that's gotten them here to this game.
Starting his day in the shotgun, Manning got hit, and that one off the hands of Cruz and incomplete. As you look at this number for the Giants offense in a record-setting year, not just individually for Eli Manning, but as a group throwing the ball offensively. Had a number of changes up front on their offensive line throughout the season. They allowed the 7th fewest sacks around the NFL, 28 all year. Last ranked run offense in the league.
Yo, opposite. Yo, 50 to Mike, set. 518.
Here's Bradshaw. Bradshaw back to the line of scrimmage, and it's a 3rd and 10. Right out of the gate for the Giants offensively. There are the numbers for the defense this season. And we highlight the injury at linebacker with Stephen Nicholas out. Spencer Adkins to start, and Brent Grimes, their top corner, is out. Dominique Franks gets the start.
I think they were anticipating that Brent Grimes would be able to play. That's a significant loss for this Falcons secondary.
Shut down that plan, a false start. Carl Shepard.
False start, number 88. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
They get Hakeem Nicks. So now a 3rd and 15. Teams, by the way, were 44% in converting 3rd downs against this Atlanta defense, which was the 4th worst mark around the NFL. So that was a problem this season for the Falcons. Just 4 men on the rush. To the sideline, caught, but short of the 1st down. Manningham. And it will be a 3 and out for the Giants to start their day offensively. That completion good for only 10.
Yeah, not really a great start there for the Giants offensively. They got handled there on 1st and 2nd down by the Falcons defensive front. They were getting pressure on Eli Manning on 1st down. On 2nd down, they jam up the running play, and then with the false start by Nicks, you know, they're just not able to get enough depth out of that completion to pick up the 1st down.
So now Weatherford will punt it. Weems waits for it. Good punt. That takes Weems right out of the mix as it's out of bounds at the 21. 48-yard punt, nothing on the return, and here is fourth-year pro Matt Ryan, who away from the dome is 17-15 playing on the road, but a great start to his NFL career. Handoff is to Turner. And Michael Turner gains 2. Turner this year number 3 in the NFL with over 1,300 rushing yards. And here are the offensive ranks for this group, led by Ryan and protected by a pretty good offensive line.
Well, that offensive line has been good for a number of years. A few changes from what we've seen in previous seasons. One of the reasons why they have not run the ball as effectively this year as they have in years past.
2nd and 8. Here he is again. Nowhere to go initially, and then Jason Pierre-Paul and Chase Blackburn stop him for no gain. And now 3rd and long the other way. See this defensive line up front. And they are as active as any group. Now they have Hugh Manura back, and with Jason Pierre-Paul flying around, the all-pro at defensive end, they are really tough to stop.
I think they've played as well as they've played all season long, Joe, the last 2 games. The 2 games where they've needed a great performance from their defense, they've gotten it.
3rd down and 8. Ryan steps up and throws it away. And a 3 and out the other way. Harry Douglas, the intended receiver.
Well, Chris Canty right in the middle is the guy who comes off, and he's able to then get the pressure right up the face of Matt Ryan. Just excellent job defensively to go force a 3 and out on the Atlanta Falcons.
And now 2 guys deep with Roll and Blackman back. We'll get the punt from the rookie Bosher. Good punt. Blackman back inside the 30 to the 30. And that's it. So 3 and out each side. Mont Bradshaw, Eli Manning back to the field. No score in Jersey. The guy who got the pressure up the gut on Matt Ryan gets a visit from his head coach, Tom Coughlin. Chris Canty with pressure from that defensive tackle spot. 2nd possession for the Giants, and Bradshaw gets nothing. Jonathan Babineau in there on the stop, and the Giants, while they do, Troy, have the last ranked rushing offense in the NFL this season, both in yards per game, yards per carry. They have been better, averaging over 100 yards the last 5 games.
That's right. I mean, they've run the ball pretty effectively over the last month of the season, and then you look at the Atlanta Falcons defensively. Although good last week against Tampa Bay, they were giving up a lot of rushing yards over that same time frame. I know the Giants come into this game expecting to be able to continue to run the ball well.
On 2nd and 10, Eli goes down. The ball comes out, but they're going to whistle the play dead, and Eli's happy just to hang on. As big John Abraham, the former Jet, got in there for the first sack of the day.
Well, here he is. John Abraham comes right around Kareem McKenzie there at right tackle, and he almost just takes the ball right out of Eli Manning's hands. Eli's looking to his left, doesn't anticipate that kind of pressure immediately in his face, and I know in visiting with Kevin Gilbride, they plan on giving David Deal, the left tackle, some help whenever Abraham lines up over him. I think they're going to have to start giving give Kareem McKenzie some help as well.
Now 3rd down and 17. Had a 3rd down and 15 last time. They set up a screen for Ware. Penalty flag flies as DJ Ware is brought down short of the 1st down yardage by Deku. And if it's against the Giants, which Abraham thinks it is, Mike Smith will decline it, and we'll have another punt coming from Weatherford.
Holding number 66. Offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
That's David Deal, and the Falcons about to get it right back.
It was David Deal, and the hold was him holding John Abraham. You know, John Abraham's going to work both sides of that offensive line, as we saw, and I really didn't see much in that David Deal did wrong. Abraham took an inside pass rush, and I thought it was a poor call.
It's a 7th straight game back at left tackle for Deal, who took over for Will Beatty. Was lost for the season in the Philly game with a detached retina. Weems stays away, and it's an effective punt from Rutherford. They'll mark it at the 21. That's where Matt Ryan and the Falcons will go to work. No score with the Giants. Matt Ryan, the Atlanta quarterback, who's just 2 games over 500 on the road, dealing with crowd noise, something the defensive coordinator Perry Fewell said in watching film they don't think he handles crowd noise well at all. Pretty loud here at MetLife Stadium as Ryan is flushed out of the pocket, and Ross forces Julio Jones out after a gain of just 2, and back to that hold on Deal.
Yeah, there's Dave Deal at left tackle, and you're going to see John Abraham. He starts up the field on the pass rush and then tries to come inside. He recognizes screen, but really just more or less him losing his balance as he tries to regain himself and get out to make a play. But regardless of whether or not it was a hold, I don't think that it was. DJ Ware did not pick up enough for the 1st down, so they were going to be punting anyway.
Good tackle by Deku to keep Ware from picking it up. 2nd and 8. Blitz coming from Blackburn, and this one incomplete in the direction of Roddy White. Now 3rd and 8.
You see Roddy White on that route, and they want to lead it out to the sideline there against Corey Webster, and just not good timing right now. And what we've seen really from both of these offenses, both showing some playoff jitters.
On 3rd down, Rodgers drops it out of the backfield. And it's been 3 and out 4 times over.
You know, the one thing that we were anticipating coming into this game, Joe, and talking with the Falcons, was them trying to change up the tempo a little bit and going to some no huddle, and they can do it from a lot of different personnel packages, and based on the way they've started here in this 1st quarter, I would anticipate the next time they get to the ball maybe going to something like the no huddle to change it up.
Bosher with his 2nd punt. First one was a good one. Hung high, a chance for a return by Blackman. Not much. Well covered by the Falcons. Palmer on the tackle. A return of 6 yards after a 50-yard punt. Still right back where we started. No score. We are desperately seeking a 1st down in this game. Each side has had 2 possessions. This one starts at the 34, and play action to begin it. Ballard. Welcome back to Jake Ballard, and he provides the first down with a 13-yard catch.
Get Jake Ballard back into the lineup, and off of the play action, Eli Manning, he's wanting to throw the ball along that sideline, but because of coverage, Atlanta's rolling up to the outside. He has to then come back to the inside to Jake Ballard. A nice way to start off this drive.
Ballard didn't know how the knee would hold up today. He missed 2 games with a partial tear in that knee, but he has the first catch and the first down. Here's Jacobs. The big back over the left side picks up 2. William Moore, the safety, forced him out.
Eli Manning was talking about the improved running game over the last 4 or 5 ball games, and how much that has helped him and how much it's helped him on third down. I mean, they've been a little more productive on first down when they have run it. It's opened up the play action, and as much as they've relied on Eli's arm throughout this season, they still are about play action.
Here's Bradshaw, and Bradshaw brought down right at the line of scrimmage by Deku.
And now they face a third and long situation, but even when they haven't run the ball effectively throughout the season, they still get a lot of their big plays off of their play action passing game down the field to Cruz and then Nix.
Abraham, who was bothered by a sore groin in week 2 and battled that all season long, little hobbled after that last play. Now 3rd and 9. Blitz coming from the Falcons, and Ware will not get it. DJ Ware over the right side. Weatherspoon and Lofton in on the stop. A gain of just 4 and a good start for this Falcons defense here on the road.
Well, Thomas Deku, you're going to see he comes up here on the blitz, and Eli Manning anticipated that, and so he then redirects the line and runs the playoff tackle. But 3rd and long, that call surprises me. I don't think they, it looked like they had a call to the run to the left and then called it to the right, but that was going to be a hard pickup.
Weatherford very good at downing it inside the 20. This time he does it just inside the 10. 39-yard punt, nothing on the return. The punters trading blows in this wild card weekend. Only 4 yards of offense so far for Atlanta, now starting at their 10. And they hand it off to Turner over the left side. Not much. First met by Kiwanuka, then Grant knocked him out of bounds, a gain of 1.
Matthias Kiwanuka, he has really come on and done a nice job. Of course, we know that he came into the league as a pass rusher, then they moved him to linebacker and then back, and now he's back at linebacker again. And although he's not rushing the passer as much as he probably thought he would be when he came into the league, he has become an awfully good player, especially here in recent games against the run. Does a nice job on that last play, not allowing Turner to get going.
Umanura on the right side, which is where he likes to be. Rushed a lot from the left last week. This one caught by Julio Jones, and the rookie with the first Atlanta first down out to the 30. 20-yard catch from Matt Ryan.
Zone coverage there, and they're able to get Julio Jones right there in that void, right in front of the safety Kenny Phillips and in behind the linebackers. And that's a pass that Matt Ryan really kind of needed to get going a little bit. They get themselves from being backed up towards their own goal line and get a nice first down.
Turner, the tailback, gets it. Jason Pierre-Paul cannot bring him down initially, but slowed him down, and there was help with Webster out there to help clean up a gain of just 1.
Well, a lot of discussion coming into this game as to how the Giants were going to be able to play against this running game of the Atlanta Falcons. We know what the Falcons want to do. We also know how good the Giants have been rushing the passer. But here in the early going of this game, they have just not allowed Michael Turner to get going.
Second down and 9. Turner has room to run, and Michael Turner is dragged down right at the marker. Boley, the former Falcon, on the tackle, and they're going to mark Turner far enough for a fresh set of downs for the Atlanta Falcons.
That's a nice job up front by the offensive line. You're going to see them here. They collapse that left side, and then you've got Mike Cox, the fullback, who cleans it up as well. And a nice hole there for Michael Turner, not touched until he gets up to the linebacker level.
Snelling now in the backfield with Turner. On first down, Ryan looking right, throws, and the pass is caught by Roddy White, almost down on his knees, and that was good for 5 yards.
Good concentration there by Roddy White. Corey Webster in good coverage there, but that's just one that's hard to defend. And Corey Webster, who most of the times will line up opposite of the opposing team's best receiver, will be on Roddy White most of the afternoon.
Here's Turner on 2nd down and 5, and he's going to be stopped in midfield 2 yards shy of the Falcons' first down. And now the crowd climbs in.
And now the Atlanta Falcons bring in rookie Jaquiz Rogers, who they really like. They feel that he's got some power running ability, but he's also very good in pass protection, so difficult to get a read on what they're thinking when he's in the game.
Quick snap on 3rd and 2, and there he is out of the backfield. He has got enough for a Falcon first down. Webster on the tackle, and Jaquiz Rogers, who is a rookie 5th-round pick out of Oregon State, got 3.
Yeah, he just comes right out of the backfield into the flat on an arrow route and put the ball into his hands immediately before he gets tackled. He's able to pick up the first down.
3 first downs on this drive. Here's Snelling. Jason Snelling is just outside the 41, a carry of 6 yards.
This is quite a drive right now by the Atlanta Falcons, and you see that they are going to the no huddle. They've picked up the tempo, and Matt Ryan is calling this game right now from the line of scrimmage.
9th play of the drive.
Let's go. Falcons, 9th play.
On 2nd and 4, Ryan in trouble, gets around Umanura, and now just throws it away. Outside the pocket, got it past the line of scrimmage, and now it's 3rd down.
You see Matt Ryan tell the group that he wants to huddle him up, but you watch Matt Ryan on this play, and the things that quarterbacks are able to do in today's game, he fakes the snap count, he makes the Giants declare, he then changes the play to something that will work against what he's seen, and you see the confusion that it kind of causes the New York Giants. But pressure by O.C. Umanura forces Matt Ryan to get the ball out with nowhere to go with it.
Defense with 11 sacks over the last 2 weeks for the Giants. On 3rd down, pass is caught. Julio Jones, and the rookie's got a first down inside the 35, a gain of 8.
Pretty good protection up front. You see they stack the receivers and then they release it, and they're in man coverage, and Aaron Ross is then locked up on Julio Jones, and he's outside leverage, no help to the inside, and really a pretty good route against that coverage, and wasn't much challenged by Aaron Ross.
Here is Turner over the left side. Ross and Canty combined on the stop. And if you go back to that 3rd down play, go back to what Perry Fuel said, that we will slow down their big wide receivers, Julio Jones and Roddy White, with our pass rush. They don't have a sack yet. They didn't get close to Ryan. And Ryan found what was a wide open Julio Jones for the first down.
Well, there's no question that if the Falcons are able to protect, the Giants have had some problems in pass coverage.
2nd and 7 over the middle, caught. That's Turner. And Michael Turner is a yard shy of a first down at the 25. Pressure by Tuck, and Ryan just got it away.
And that's not something you really see a lot of. Michael Turner on the receiving end. There's the pressure by Justin Tuck, and Ryan's just able to get it out of his hands. But Michael Turner's had career highs this year in receptions. Just 17 catches on the year, yet that was a career high. And so not a guy you got to worry a lot about when he's in the lineup when a pass is called. It's a nice drive right now by Atlanta, a drive that started on their own 10-yard line.
3rd down and 1. Snelling did not get it, according to the official on the far side, as the first quarter expires here in Jersey. If you believe our yellow line, which is an unofficial look at the first down marker, inches short was Snelling. And we may see just how accurate that line is as we could get a measurement here called for by Carl Sheffers. First quarter is over. It's been a 13-play drive covering 65 yards, and we'll see if it's 4th and inches or a first down for Atlanta.
You think back to last week, the big 4th down stop that Michael Boley had against the Cowboys, and for the Giants to be able to hold up there on 3rd and short, that's a good stop by that defense.
It's the playoffs. Whoever set up that yellow line on their game. It'll be 4th down for Atlanta when we start the second. No score after 1. Back after this. Falcons going to go for it on 4th and inches.
Yeah, the quarterback in me tells me go for it, but I think you got to take the points here as a road playoff team. But we've seen this before from Mike Smith.
Not scared to go for it. Ball inside the 25. Matt Ryan keeps it, depends on the spot. Now how accurate is the red line on 4th down and inches, and where will they place it?
Well, it looked initially, Joe, it looked like the center, Todd McClure, got enough movement to pick that up, but where the spot is, this is going to be close. You know, I thought they were just going to try to draw the Giants off sides. And what's interesting about them going for it, that going in this direction, the wind is a factor on kicking a field goal. So would they have settled for the field goal had it not been the end of the quarter there on 3rd down? But this is going to be close.
By inches either way. That head linesman moved it back a couple of inches. That may be the difference. Giants ball.
Great job by that Giants defense. I mean, you think about a drive that started on the 10-yard line. The Falcons did a lot of good things there offensively, and that's what I say on 4th and short, as much as you want to go for it, to be able to have a 3-point lead, certainly no guarantees they're going to make the field goal, but to have the chance to take a 3-point lead on the road, I think was big. That's why I said I think you have to take the points there. Mike Smith thought otherwise, and the Giants hold up.
Linval Joseph was right in the middle for it. The Giants defensively, and it was a big part of why the Giants get the ball. Penalty flag flies in the area of a hold as they drop it off to Bradshaw. Will get the call. 12-yard catch and run.
Number 76, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
This time it's Chris Snee, the right guard. Let's go back to that 4th down play.
You see the shifting there that took place along the offensive line there, and so right guard Joe Hawley slides over, and then he ends up being the one who actually snaps the ball to Matt Ryan. So it wasn't McClure that got the push, it was right guard Joe Hawley, and that's I've never seen anything like that, especially in that situation. Your quarterback's taking a snap from someone that he doesn't often do.
Here's one for Bradshaw that goes nowhere. Wrapped up by Abraham. Bierman was in there as well, and it's a loss of 2.
You just kind of knew coming into this game that if the Falcons were going to be able to play the way they wanted to play defensively, that John Abraham was going to have a presence in this ball game, and he really has. He's done a lot of good things here in this first half.
Now 2nd and 22. Manning is flushed and just throws it away. This is going to be interesting. If it is intentional grounding in the end zone and a penalty in the end zone, they can award a safety in the first 2 points of this game.
Yeah, well, you see the tackle box there. It's basically within the hash marks, and I think it's, he's outside the hash marks. Question is, where did the ball end up, in my opinion? I think he's outside of the tackle box. Clearly, he's trying to avoid the sack. But does the ball get beyond the line of scrimmage. I think that's the real key as these officials get together and discuss it.
Intentional grounding, number 10, offense. There was no receiver in the area. That foul happened in the end zone. The result of the play, safety.
And so they don't come away with 3. They go for it on 4th and inches, and then, Troy, it's the defense that provides the first 2 points of this game as James Sanders wrapped up Eli Manning, who did not get the ball back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was the problem. There wasn't a receiver in the area, and nor did the ball get to the line of scrimmage, because clearly he was outside of what they call the tackle box. Once he got outside the hash mark there, that's where the right tackle, Kareem McKenzie, was lined up. Problem is, there's just no receiver there. The ball bounces 3-4 yards before it gets to the line of scrimmage. And that's why they called intentional grounding.
And you could see the reaction by Tom Coughlin with the offense coming off the field saying, wake up out there. This has been a terrible start offensively for the Giants in this one, and a great start defensively for the Falcons here on the road.
A really good start defensively by the Falcons, because throughout this year the Achilles heel for that group has been they've not been able to get enough pressure on the quarterback. Forget the sacks. They've just not been able to make the quarterback move off his point. This game, they've done that. You know, they haven't gotten the sacks, but they have pressured Eli Manning just about every time he's dropped back.
So now the free kick. The Falcons will get the ball back as Weatherford hits it with Eric Weems waiting at the 16. Crowd has been taken right out of it. Weems with a decent return, and he is out near the 38. The Falcons are lead by 2. Let's go down to the field and Chris Myers.
And Joe, the Falcon defense, the backups helping out here. William Moore, starting safety, left on the previous series with a groin injury, went to the locker room. He's questionable. And James Sanders, who came in for him, actually made the play, forcing the safety on Eli Manning. Sanders had played during the year in both safety positions, filling in for Moore. But again, Moore, questionable return. Sanders already paying off for Atlanta on defense.
Yeah, Sanders was one of the last cuts there by the New England Patriots, and the Falcons pick him up. He makes a nice play.
Ryan keeps it on play action and finds Snelling. And Snelling is wrapped up by middle linebacker Chase Blackburn, a gain of 6.
You know, so you think about it, the defense for the Falcons really helps them out. I mean, they decide to go against the field goal opportunity, go for it on 4th down. They don't make it, but yet they're still able to come out of that possession with some points because of the safety then by the defense.
And now 2nd down and 4 for Matt Ryan, who has started the day 7 of 11.
Come on.
Here is Turner, and Michael Turner has enough for an Atlanta 1st down. He's been so good since they signed him as an unrestricted free agent out of San Diego. He already has a team record for rushing touchdowns in another season with easily over 1,000 yards for a guy who gets a lot of work getting the ball from Matt Ryan.
A lot of work. You know, I mean, he carries the ball a ton, and he's a load to try to get to the ground.
Able to get it away. Ryan looking for help, finds Snelling as the Giants allowed that drop-off pass to Jason Snelling, good for 3.
I think right now Matt Ryan is really doing an excellent job of controlling the tempo at the line of scrimmage, and because he's getting to the line of scrimmage so quickly, and as they go to a no huddle again, you know, it affords him a lot of time at the line to fake the snap, force their hand defensively, and then get them into a good call.
2nd down and 7. Here's Turner. Nice play off the edge is made. A gain of just 1, and that was Jason Pierre-Paul, who came down to make the stop.
You know, you talk about Michael Turner and what he has done running the football and how much he's carried the ball. He's still a relatively young 8th-year veteran because he didn't have all that many carries his first 4 years there in San Diego because of LaDainian Tomlinson being a teammate.
3rd down and 6. Hand the Giants get pressure. Ryan over the middle. Rodgers is hit. And they will mark him short of first down yardage. The Atlanta Falcons in that in-between area, you could see him go for it again on 4th down.
Yeah, they're right in that kind of no man's land as to what you do, but Mike Smith has made the decision, and you know, a good one at that, because the defense right now, as he recognizes, is playing really well. And so rather than take another chance and give the ball back to New York with great field position, potentially, you know, pin them back and let your defense continue to do what they've shown here in the early going.
Jaquan Williams, a good job defensively for the Giants on that last stop. Washer hits it end over end. Bull almost got there to block it, and the Giants will start down by 2 at their own 15-yard line. Back to work, that Falcon defense, which has been good so far. Falcons defense has held Victor Cruz in check. 4 possessions for the Giants. It forced 3 punts, a safety, allowed 34 yards and only 1 first down. Starting at the 15, they are on the ground with Jacobs. And over the right side, Brandon Jacobs gets 2. John Abraham out there to make the stop.
Well, John Abraham, he's getting pressure on Eli Manning in pass rush, and now he's playing the run very well also. You see Kareem McKenzie, he's trying to block the point, but not just John Abraham. This defensive front already in this ball game, I mean, they've held their own, and they're not giving the Giants anywhere to run the ball, and then they're creating a lot of problems up front with the pass rush.
Giants have carried it 5 times for 8 yards. There's Cruz. Victor Cruz will be a couple short of a first down. Sanders in on the stop, who, as Chris Myers reported, has taken the place of the injured William Moore.
And it's not really that Atlanta has done anything. You know, you commented that he had not caught a ball until that last play, and you know, but they're playing pretty standard coverages. The Falcons don't disguise, they don't confuse you as far as what they're doing defensively, unlike the 2 teams the Giants played the last couple of games with the Jets and Cowboys. It's been more the pressure that they've been able to apply on Eli. He just has not been able to hold the ball in the pocket and get the ball down the field to his wide receivers.
Tony Hugo, an extra offensive lineman, checks in. They fake the handoff. Manning on 3rd down is going to pick it up and take it out across the 35.
You're going to see Snead comes here, and then you've got also Brandon Jacobs. They're going to put 2 guys essentially on John Abraham, and yet he's still able to come around the corner and get pressure on Eli Manning. But because he did get the pressure with the speed rush, it opened up that running lane then for Eli Manning to get the first down.
And turn in his longest run of the year. 14 yards for the first down. Here's Jacobs. See if that loosens up this defense at all as Brandon Jacobs gets 8.
I tell you what, it'll loosen up Thomas Deku. That's for sure. He comes up from the safety position to make a hit then on Brandon Jacobs. That's not an envious position whatsoever, but a good finishing run there by Brandon Jacobs, and Ahmad Bradshaw likes it.
2nd and 2. Here he is again. Lowers his head, keeps on plugging, and gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. 3rd and 2 coming up. Under 8 to play in the first half. Jacobs will check out. Bradshaw comes in along with Manningham. There's Kevin Gilbride, who always tries to keep that balance even when the run game isn't working, and it's been a down year running the ball better of late. As we said, it's 3rd and 2. Wide open Bradshaw, first down. Forced out by Franks. A gain of 7.
Well, really, that's the impact that Victor Cruz has on a defense. They're so worried about him in the slot position that Dominique Franks starts to go with him, anticipating that that's where Manning's going to go with the football, and it opens up that flat then for Ahmad Bradshaw. If you didn't have a guy that's been as productive and as reliable as Victor Cruz, that doesn't come open as well as it just did.
First time for the Giants in Atlanta territory with a first down at the 48. Blitz. Manning underhands it to Bradshaw. Avoided the sack, but the play loses one. Dominique Franks on the stop. Lofton had pressure on Eli Manning.
Yeah, here he comes right up the middle. Lofton comes right up inside, and Ahmad Bradshaw's not able to get to him, and Eli Manning he just deals one like a point guard right here. Avoids at least losing more than they did.
He's been under pressure since the start. All the talk about the Giants defensive line. It's been Atlanta's defensive front that's made the biggest impact. Here's Jacobs over the right side. Brandon Jacobs is down inside the 20 and still going near the 15.
Chris Snee here and Kevin Booth, they pull the guards and they lead the way. And so Booth, he secures the inside. You got Snee kicking out the outside, and then it's one-on-one on the safety, Thomas Deku. Unlike last time one-on-one, he's unable then to get squared up on Brandon Jacobs to make the tackle, and a big run and one desperately needed by the New York Giants.
A 34-yard run. Here's Bradshaw. And Ahmad Bradshaw doesn't go down easily. Picks up nearly 9.
Well, you think about that run by Brandon Jacobs. I mean, that's just something that this offense has not been able to produce. They have not had the 20-yard runs like they had a year ago, only 4 all season long. And so to be able to come up with a chunk of yardage like that in the running game has been something that's desperately been missing.
That was the longest run of the year for Jacobs. His previous long was 28. Second down and 1. Little jab step to the right. Bradshaw doing all he can, but he's short of a first down. Picked up just inches over the right side. Lofton on the stop.
You know, when you get down to this area of the field defensively and you are playing against a team that's going to be running the ball, that's what you want to do, is start making that runner go laterally. And that's what happened with Ahmad Bradshaw. As much quickness as he has, once he had to start moving laterally down there in tight spaces, it's hard to then be able to come away with any type of good yardage.
Now third down and a short one. Jacobs depends on the spot. And he looks to be maybe a couple of inches short. It is close. And now a decision for Tom Coughlin.
You know, I thought they were going to go play action with it, because this is an offense, especially thinking back to last week against the Cowboys. They struggled running the ball for 1 yard. Whether it was on second down, third down, or fourth down, they could not pick up a yard running the football, and they've had to throw it. And so on 3rd and 1, I thought that Kevin Gilbride may come back with play action pass. Instead they go Brandon Jacobs, and you're right, depending on the spot, I'm not so sure he got it.
It is right there. Inches. It's 4th down. And now what does Tom Coughlin do? You want the lead? You want to try to pound it forward for the first down, and Eli knew before the measurement that they missed it by that much.
And unlike Mike Smith's decision, I like the decision here by Tom Coughlin to go for it, you know, playing at home and just making a statement right now to this offense that he believes in them and that they're going to come away with more than a field goal.
Atlanta 0 for 1 on 4th down today. The Giants 4 of 13 this season. Jacobs picks it up.
Well, Curtis Lofton gave it his best effort. It's just a hard man to try to stop right in the middle. Middle linebacker, he scrapes perfectly, feels the hole, gets the hit on Jacobs, and if he's able to stop him right there, he doesn't pick up the first down. But a nice second effort by Brandon Jacobs to pick up the first down.
Solid block by Hynoski on Sanders as well. One-on-one, Jacobs got 2 yards. Manning, end zone, what a catch! Touchdown, Hakeem Nicks.
Run the ball, and then they come back play action on first down. And what it does, you see, to the linebackers, to the safety, Deku, and a ball that I don't think it got tipped, but it was behind, but yet Nicks is able to make the play on that. That's a great drive by the Giants.
Exactly what they needed. 69 rushing yards on that drive, but it's Nicks with a 4-yard touchdown catch. And a nice catch at that. The reaction by the guy who got the first down, with the Giants now up 5. 13-play drive. Jacobs got him down there, and Hakeem Nicks took it in from 4 yards out. 5 first downs on that drive after having only 1 in their first 4 possessions.
Big run by Jacobs. Big run also on the scramble by Eli Manning.
Here is Weems, and he will keep it in the end zone. Take a break, come back, 2:47 left. All 3 timeouts for Matt Ryan. His Falcons down by 5. We have not said the name yet of Tony Gonzalez. They have not thrown his way. Down 7-2, starting at the 20. False start.
False start, number 77. Offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's Tyson Clabo, the right tackle, and that happens too. You know, I talked about how effective Matt Ryan has been with snap count and changing things up and making the defense declare. Well, those guys, those big guys up front, they get a little anxious when you're backed up on the road with a lot of noise, and sometimes they move early like Clabo just did.
First down and 15. Ryan gets swallowed up. And it's Rocky Bernard, a loss of 8.
There's just pressure across the board. I mean, there's pressure off the edges, and then you've got the inside pressure and just nowhere for Matt Ryan to go. I mean, we've seen inside pressure in this game by Chris Canty and then Bernard. I mean, these offensive linemen, they got enough things to worry about with the other pass rushers that we know about, but when they're getting it from Canty and Bernard, they've got real problems.
Bernard did not have a sack during the regular season. A handoff is to Turner. Pierre Paul, Blackburn, everybody in there for the Giants. Tuck as well, a gain of just 2. And as we approach the 2-minute warning, the Giants will take a timeout. And then they'll get a stoppage at the 2-minute warning. And they'll have a chance to add points if they get a stop on 3rd and long coming up. Third down and 21. How daring do you want to get against this pass rush over the middle? Julio Jones. Grant roll in on the stop. And as we are at the 2-minute warning, it'll be 4th down for the Atlanta Falcons as Julio Jones got 18. We'll have a punt. Then the Giants will get it back with just under 2 to play. Let's take a break. Really good timeout called at 2:05 by Tom Coughlin to get the stoppage at minute 58. So we're in the 2-minute warning and now about to get back after it. Will Blackman is waiting for the punt from Bosher. Line drive punt. And it checks up, goes backward. And they're going to mark it out of bounds, out across the 35 near the 37. You know, the heroics that Eli Manning has provided the Giants and their fans this season. That's what they've done at the end of either half. Third most points in the league. While the Giants are third best scoring points at the end of the half, the Falcons gave up only 29 points in the final 2 minutes of either half. Best mark in the NFL. That little battle going on right now. Giants going for it all. Manningham knocked away, and a good play is made by Chris Owens. A secondary playing without Brent Grimes and now William Moore, and Owens made that play.
Well, they tie up in the middle on Victor Cruz. They double him, and so that makes Chris Owens one-on-one on the outside to Mario Manningham. You know, Kevin Gilbride thought this was going to be the case last week against the Cowboys, that they would double Nix, double Cruz, and then Manningham would have to win the one-on-ones. The Cowboys didn't play it that way. That time the Falcons did. Owens makes a nice play on the ball.
2nd down and 10. Pass is gunned to Nix. And Nix is wrapped up by Dante Robinson right at the marker. Depends on the spot. And they're going to say 3rd down without a measurement. And on 3rd down, this one's broken up. That was an odd play call on 3rd and literally inches. No measurement, and now it's a stop on 3rd down.
Well, it's a hard predicament to then be in as the quarterback. If you're not going to get a measurement, you're not certain that it's not a 1st down. I mean, you'd like to get a measurement on that, determine whether it is a 1st down or not a 1st down. They said that it's not. So now you got one shot, as we saw on 3rd down, incomplete rather than just running some type of draw quarterback sneak to pick it up. And that's unfortunate because the Giants were in a great position to try to come away with some points before the end of this half.
Meanwhile, Atlanta down by 5 now has some time. They'll start at their 20 with 1:08 and 3 timeouts remaining. Kurt Menefee will tell us what's coming up on the Visa Halftime.
All right, coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, Jimmy, Michael, Howie, and Terry will break down the first half of this game, and we'll preview the big AFC wildcard matchup between the Steelers and Broncos, including our own John Lynch with Denver head coach John Fox talking about Tim Tebow's plan today on the Visa Halftime. They'll get back to work.
All right, guys, we look forward to that. Now 1:08 remaining. Falcons starting at their 20, down by 5. Four-man rush. Ryan has it broken up by Webster as he got his hands in front of Roddy White.
I want to go back and revisit that 3rd down. You know, whether Eli could have asked for a measurement or Tom Coughlin on the sidelines, you almost have to get a measurement there so you know what you want to do. And usually if you ask for it, the official, if it's close, will at least give it to you. Then they could have regrouped and figured out, okay, we got to pick up the 1st down. But I think they really missed out on an opportunity there to get points.
Now 2nd down and 10. Ryan over the middle hits Gonzalez. That's his first catch, and Gonzalez is out to the 30 with a 1st down. Clock continues to wind. Matt Ryan has 3 timeouts.
Well, he's so good in these situations that, yeah, there's still plenty of time, and with timeouts, they're going to go for it.
Rolling to his right, hits White as he hops out of bounds. 41 seconds left. Falcons, I thought, got the benefit of the doubt on the marking. The forward progress of Hakeem Nicks on that 2nd down catch, and now they have an opportunity to do something about this 5-point deficit at the end of the half. 2nd and 7. Blitz. Falcons pick it up, and now Ryan will slide down just across the 35. touched by Tuck. A gain of 3.
This defense for the Giants has really done a nice job here in the first half of this ball game, and being able to control the running game by the Falcons, but even in this situation they're just not giving him a lot of places to get the ball down the field.
And no timeout taken as the clock continues to wind. Now 3rd down. Under 10 to play. Gonzalez with a first down catch. But now there are only 4 seconds left in the half. And a timeout is taken by Atlanta, but they are very likely going to go into the locker room with 2 timeouts in their pocket. Not electing to take one moments ago prior to that 3rd down throw. So we will have very likely one heave down the field and could be staring at a 7-2 game at the half. Is that what you expected coming in?
Not quite. I think we thought that the Falcons would come in and have a little bit more success running the football than they have, but the Giants defensively, as I said, they've done a really nice job. I mean, and that bodes well for this team. This team really over the years has gotten its heartbeat from the defense, and the fact that they've played so well down the stretch of the regular season, coming back here in a playoff game against a pretty balanced attack with this Atlanta offense, and they've played well.
Antrell Roll is the deepest man back for the Giants. Ryan lets it develop and now shows off his arm. Short of the end zone and batted away by the rookie Jaquan Williams. And it is a 7-2 game at the half. Stay tuned for the Visa halftime coming up after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Defensive battle on Wild Card weekend at the half. Giants by 5. First ever 7-2 score at the half in NFL playoff history. Giants on top by 5. You can follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. We welcome you inside our broadcast booth. I'm Joe, that's Troy, that's Mike Pereira, our rules expert. And we want to go back, Mike, that last possession that the Giants had when here's the completion to Hakeem Nicks. Take us through it.
Yeah, here he's going to get forward progress right at the spot where he controls the ball, even airborne, and is driven back by the defender. Now it's inside of 2 minutes with the clock running, so therefore it's up to the replay assistant to stop this and initiate the review and adjust the spot. They're not going to grant the timeout request inside of 2 minutes with the clock running. So really this boils down to the replay assistant, replay official getting involved and shutting this down and adjusting the spot.
And you believe that in that instance, had that happened, looking at it with that replay, that would have maintained the ball for the Giants, and who knows where it ends up, but they keep the ball.
And I think it's going to 2nd to 3rd down, but to me, if they review that, they would have changed it. It would have made it a 1st down.
Thank you, Mike.
And more than likely, if they get the 1st down there, they at least have a field goal attempt on that drive, which could be huge as we wind through the second half.
It is a 5-point game. Tynes will kick it away. Falcons will start this second half with the football. Tynes gets into this one through the back of the end zone. Let's go down to the field and check in with Chris Myers.
Joe, Mike Smith saying at the half that they are blitzing more defensively in this game than they have all year, and they have to continue to do that to make Eli Manning uncomfortable. Offensively, the crowd noise is affecting the no huddle and some communication. And 4th downs, he's going to keep going for them when they're less than a yard. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, well, that's interesting. Down by 5. Had that opportunity a second time in the first half, did not take it. Hand off to Turner. So far, that Giant defensive front has been very good against the running game of the Falcons, and in particular, Michael Turner.
Well, they've been very good in being able to take away what the Atlanta Falcons want to do most, and obviously running the football. And even though Matt Ryan has been able to complete a high percentage of passes, he's not been able to get the ball down the field, and that's a tribute really to the secondary and the job that Perry Fuel has done playing some coverage and keeping everything short.
2nd and 8. Hand off again to Turner. Turner bounces off one tackler and ends up picking a first down up over the middle as he got 10. Canty missed a tackle, and Turner ends up getting a fresh set of downs.
Well, it's just good hard-nosed running by Michael Turner. I mean, this is a powerful man who's built low to the ground, and so there's not a lot of surface area there to try to get him to the ground. And I know that after last week's game against the Buccaneers, this offense felt really good about their ability to run the football. One, Tampa Bay has not been good defensively, and to go back to what we said earlier, they have struggled running the ball the last month of the season.
Here's Turner that goes along the line of scrimmage and loses a yard. Jason Pierre-Paul made the stop. He's the All-Pro and Pro Bowler who had 16.5 sacks during the regular season.
You know, and then in the meaningful games when, you know, your best players really needed to play well, he was one of those guys that, you know, you think back to that first game against the Cowboys that the Giants had to have, and then he blocks the field goal, and he's been doing it all year long, but especially over the last 4 games of the season.
2nd down and 11. Ryan, that one's in the air, and it drops to the turf. Jason Pierre-Paul had a shot at it. It was batted into the air by Canty, and it brings up 3rd down and 11, and Jason Pierre-Paul is unable to get up.
Here's Canty right here in the middle. He's the one who's able to go up and get his hands on the ball, and Pierre-Paul, he pretty athletic move on his part trying to locate it, but you see he finds himself at the bottom of the pile as he's trying to make a play on that ball.
Ross is down as well. They look at Jason Pierre-Paul and Ross. We'll take a break. 3rd down when we come back. A beautiful shot of Lower Manhattan as you look at Jason Pierre-Paul, who was able to get up and walk off. Same for Aaron Ross. Prince Amukamara is in there for the Giants on 3rd down and 11. The pass is broken up. Webster, who's seen a lot of Roddy White today.
It's an excellent route by Roddy White, but he doesn't work back to the quarterback, and so at the top of this route you're going to see Corey Webster. He continues to drive on the ball right there. Roddy White's trying to hold his position to pick up the first down, but because he does, it then allows Webster to come back to the football and get a hand on it and cause the incompletion.
Last 2 years, no receiver's been thrown to more than Roddy White or had more catches, but he's been held to just 2 for 8 yards so far in this game. Bosher's been busy. Just got it away. Jernigan came close. Here's Blackman, who is with forward progress down at the 24, but a penalty flag is down. Back in the area where the punt happened. Just a 4-yard return.
There's no foul for holding on the play. Timeout on the field.
So we'll take a break. And the Giants will have it up by 5 starting at their 24. Wild card weekend. We are in New Jersey. A little different story last night in that game between the Lions and the Saints. 466 passing yards put up by Drew Brees after that record-setting regular season. Now the Giants have it. Up by 5 from their 24. It's Bradshaw over the right side. And Ahmad picks up 2. Let's go down to the field and Pam Oliver.
Well, Joe, of those 2 injuries we saw, Aaron Ross got the worst of it. Ross has been taken immediately to the locker room. He's being looked at by team doctors as we speak. He is being examined currently for a head injury. Back to you.
All right, thank you. So that secondary, which has lost one cornerback after another, starting in camp in the preseason with Terrell Thomas, but all season long now maybe without Aaron Ross. Cruz dropped it trying to make a move. 3rd down coming up.
You know, we talk about the Atlanta Falcons offensively and how Matt Ryan had completed a lot of passes but not for many yards. I mean, for Eli Manning it's been even worse, and it's been somewhat surprising because One, the Giants, as we know, are a big play offense, especially within their passing game. And then the Falcons have been one of the worst in terms of giving up big pass plays. But so far here in this game, the longest pass play for the Giants has just been 13 yards.
Now 3rd and 8. Falcons don't jump. This pass is caught. And what a throw is the catch made by Nix for the first down.
Well, it's excellent coverage as well by Chris Owens. I mean, they run the skinny post. It's just a perfectly thrown ball by Eli Manning. You see the coverage. There was only one place that he could put that. That was a big conversion for the New York Giants.
And now a new longest play of the day. 19 yards to Nix for the first down. Chris Snead comes out. They look at him on the sideline. Mitch Petrus checks in. On first down, what a move by Bradshaw. And Ahmad Bradshaw gets 8.
It's just excellent vision by Ahmad Bradshaw. They're going to try to keep it, to the front side, but he's got the cutback lane back to his left. Start here, and then he comes back. But the finish on the run is what I like. You see the good blocking up front. But right there, I mean, he was hunting up Thomas Deku.
2nd down and 2. Here's Bradshaw. Penalty flag is thrown. Bradshaw got enough for a first down, but this is a hold against the Giants.
Holding, number 64, offense. 10-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
It's David Boss in his first year with the Giants.
Yeah, he's the center in the middle. And he's the guy who they got with the hold. And really not much of an impact, I guess I should say, that the hold had on the play, but it backs them up at a time that they started to get things going offensively.
Yeah, it takes a first down away and now makes it 2nd down and 12. Out of the shotgun, Manning throws and off the hands of Victor Cruz. Now 3rd down.
We saw earlier in the game that they were getting after Eli Manning. John Abraham was. They've given him a little bit more attention, and so he hasn't been as big a factor. And so he had a pretty clean pocket to deliver a little better ball than he did.
Just 1 catch, 6 yards, 2 drops for Cruz after a record-setting regular season with over 1,500 receiving yards. 3rd most in the NFL. It's 3rd and 12. Manning avoids the pressure and hits Cruz. And the new fan favorite takes a first down to the Atlanta 35.
Well, the Falcons once again are able to make Eli Manning move, but he's able to dodge the rush. Victor Cruz keeps the play alive, helps out his quarterback, and as Eli Manning is scrambling, he's still got his eyes down the field and makes a nice play once again with a scramble to Victor Cruz.
22 yards on 3rd and 12, another big 3rd down conversion on this drive. Here's Bradshaw. Over the right side. Ahmad Bradshaw down near the 5.
Well, Akeem Nicks is the guy who springs him. He comes down, and it's the block right there that springs Bradshaw and gets him then one-on-one with the safety, Deku. And he's just not able to haul him down right away.
Chris Snead, Troy, who had left with an injury and was on the sideline moments ago, back in there and a part of the block initially. Now Bradshaw hops to his right and takes it down to the 3. Giants all regular season had 4 runs of 20-plus yards. They've got 2 today. The latest one by number 44.
No, that's really what they've been able to do here in this game. I mean, we saw the big third down conversion by Eli Manning that kept this drive alive after the hold on David Boss, but running the ball, they've gotten some of the big plays, and overall they've been very, very effective with that part of the game.
Manning from out of the shotgun, back in the end zone off the hands of Ballard. Had him open, could not connect. And now 3rd and goal.
It was a great throw by Eli Manning, and you got to put the ball up high. There's linebackers, and you see Curtis Lofton. He's in the lane. If he had thrown it out in front of Ballard, Ballard has to anticipate that throw. Yeah, it's behind him, but it has to be in order to give his guy a chance. And you know, Ballard, who's had a heck of a season, a guy who's gone and done more than anticipated. I've seen him make tougher catches than that one.
Nix at the top of the screen. On 3rd down and goal. Manning to his right, and it's broken up. Hakeem Nix, the intended receiver, and Owens was there to get his hand in the way. It's 4th down.
A lot of contact at the top of this route. Chris Owens right there is locked up with him. You know, easily could have been called. Contact long before the ball got there, and you hear the crowd. They don't like it one bit.
And now it's Tynes for a 22-yard field goal to make it an 8-point game. And he does just that. But it could have been more, maybe, with Manning rolling to his right. All that contact with Owens and Nix, no flag. Tom Coughlin can't believe it. His team is up 8. There's the drive, 11 plays, 2 big 3rd down conversions to get him to a 1st and goal. Could not cash it in for 7. They get 3, lead by 8. The Falcons about to get it back and trying to get some kind of momentum going offensively. Still a 1-score game. Weems gets it just beyond the 20. And with 7:45 left in the 3rd quarter, we'll take a break. Atlanta offense looking for some traction down 8. It's a 10-2 game with 7:45 3rd quarter. Big offensive line as Sam Baker checks in. Former starter. He is an eligible receiver starting out of the shotgun. Trying to protect Ryan against that defensive front. And it works as Roddy White makes the catch. Rolling out across the 40, a 20-yarder from Matt Ryan.
Well, you're right, Joe. Here's Sam Baker right here. And he just shores things up a little bit. They keep Michael Turner in, try to block him up, and so they can take advantage of some of the things down the field. That's just, neither one of these quarterbacks, I mean, both of these defenses have played very, very well and have not given up much yardage. These quarterbacks each thrown for over 4,000 yards in the regular season have struggled finding anything down the field all afternoon.
Good news for the Giants. Jason Pierre-Paul back in the game. This one is set up with some room to run for Roddy White. But Matt Ryan short arms it a bit. White can't make the adjustment. It's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that was going to be a pretty nice gain too. You know, I mean, Matt Ryan obviously going to his left, but you know, he can make that throw. He's just been a little bit off on some of those types of throws here today.
They're going to call that a drop for White. He led the league in drops, but also caught 100 balls for over 1,200 yards.
Well, I think Matt could have gotten him a little better throw.
2nd and 10. This one for Jones. And the rookie goes down immediately thanks to a good tackle by the rookie Amukamara. a gain of 6, third down coming up.
Yeah, and the third down, considering how effective they had been all season long on this down. This has been a down here today that they haven't been nearly as good.
6th in the NFL during the regular season, 44%. 3 for 9 today. Third down. This pass is caught for a first down by Roddy White, a gain of 9.
Well, Joe Hawley, the right guard, you see Justin Tuck, he pulls out, and so that frees him up to give help to his right tackle, Tyson Clabo, to shore up protection against Jason Pierre-Paul. It was a nice third down conversion by the Falcons.
Yeah, big one for Atlanta and Matt Ryan. First down at the Giant 43. They toss to Julio Jones, running to his left, and he's got a first down for the Falcons at the 30. And now the Falcons start a nice drive as they continue it to the New York Giants 30. You can get coverage of every NFL drive, every NFL game as well on NFL Mobile. Call ** NFL to get NFL action right on your phone. Blitz coming from the Giants. Falcons pick it up. Ryan got it back to the line of scrimmage. Was outside of the pocket. There is no flag. But he was under heavy pressure by Jason Pierre-Paul.
You see the safety right here. Matt Ryan has an opportunity because it's one-on-one. There's no safety in the middle of the field. Everybody's man across the board. And if he had anticipated it a little bit better, they had a chance there to get a pretty good play.
Now second down and 10. Ryan pulls it down, now throws it into the ground in the direction of Gonzalez. And Gonzalez limps away after not making the reception. Now 3rd and 10.
Well, both of these quarterbacks have really been under pretty good pressure throughout the game. They've had to move around, not a lot of sacks. Each has only been sacked one time, but the pass rushes for both teams have been very effective in making the quarterback move.
Be a 48-yard field goal from this spot into the wind, and Ryan calls a timeout before 3rd and 10. Take a break, come back. Big third down for the Falcons, down by 8 when we return. Toward the end of the timeout, a flag was thrown, and we'll get an explanation from our referee, Carl Sheffers.
Illegal substitution on Atlanta for having 12 players in the huddle. That happened prior to the timeout. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And I mean, they just threw the flag for something that happened prior to the timeout. And believe it or not, there are 12 guys in that huddle. Tom Coughlin was making his case during the timeout, and he got the call.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. Tom Coughlin was having an animated conversation with the official and trying to explain to them that there had been 12 men in the huddle, and he got the call. That's a huge penalty.
Probably drives Atlanta out of field goal range as well on 3rd down and 15. Ryan needs something, throws, and completes to Roddy White. Roddy White is down, it looks like, yet again, inches shy of a first down.
Well, if what Mike Smith said to Pam Oliver is true, then he'll be going for it here on 4th down. We'll see what he decides. But great protection up front by the Atlanta Falcons offensive front, and gives Matt Ryan time to deliver a good ball and at least make Mike Smith make a decision here.
They're going to reset the play clock, and it's 4th down and less than 1. does not get it. Second time the Giants up front make a stop. What a day for Perry Fuel, the defensive coordinator, who's been under fire all season long.
And what a job by Chris Canty right in the middle. They try to double on him and get him to move, and they just are unable to do it. You've got the center Todd McClure and then left guard Justin Blaylock. They just don't get any kind of push, and Ryan's trying to get in behind him, but he just can't. That's a great job defensively now. They've been good throughout the game, but they've been exceptional now on 2 4th down stops.
Here is Jacobs. Meanwhile, Michael Turner couldn't believe it over on the sideline. He wasn't even in the lineup at the moment. It was an empty backfield behind Matt Ryan, and there was really no camouflaging what was about to happen. It was just man on man up front. The Giants won it.
Yeah, I mean, you know exactly what's coming at you. You know, offensive line does, defensive front. It's just a play of strength and determination, and the Giants have proven up to the task.
Here's Jacobs out of the backfield on second down. He'll be brought down with a 5-yard catch. 3rd down and relatively short coming up. Weatherspoon made that stop. This February, NASCAR's best will converge at the Daytona International Speedway for NASCAR's biggest race. Defending Sprint Cup Series champion Tony Stewart, rookie Danica Patrick highlight a full field of drivers looking to take home the ultimate prize. 54th running, the Daytona 500, February 26th, here on Fox. 3rd and 3. Wide open Nix. Still going. Hakeem Nix. All alone. No flags. Touchdown Giants.
In the middle on the slot, but they don't get the corner then running with Nix, and so there's a bust in coverage there, and it looked like the corner should have been in man coverage there on Hakeem Nix, and he's wide open in the middle of the field, and he's able to then get the touchdown.
It's 17-2. He's got both touchdowns today through the air from Eli Manning. Hakeem Nix, 72 yards on 3rd and 3 after that big defensive stop. Now up 15. One of the 2 1,000-yard receivers for the Giants. The first time that's happened in Giants history. With Nix and Cruz, and Hakeem Nix has had some day as the Giants look to try and stamp their ticket for a trip to Green Bay. Plenty of time left. What is a 15-point game, so still a 2-score game as Tynes will kick it back to the Falcons. Weems will take it out and not make the 20. Let's go back to the touchdown.
You see that touchdown play first. Victor Cruz in the slot, and they go man coverage with him with Dominique Franks, and then Dante Robinson is the outside corner. He lets Nix go on the crossing route. They were also playing zone on the outside as well. So yeah, you give up the first down, but there's no excuse for that catch going for a touchdown. They should have been able to converge on that, give up the first down, but make it a minimal gain. Instead, it was a 7-point play.
Now Matt Ryan has to face this defense having to throw more than run it. And Julio Jones makes the catch, a gain of 4. This is a dangerous defense, Troy, when they know you have to throw, and they can put any of those long defensive end types up front in any spot when they want to come after the quarterback.
Yeah, all you have to do is ask Mark Sanchez or Tony Romo. You know, they've been the recipient of that pass rush for the last 2 games.
Delayed handoff to Turner. And Turner will be knocked down short of first down yardage by Linval Joseph. It'll be 3rd down coming up, and we look at the offensive leaders for an offense that drove it the last time, but again came up short on 4th and inches. Turner's got just 42 yards rushing. Ryan, 152 yards through the air.
This Giants defense has really stymied this offense all day long. I mean, they've taken away the running game, not giving up big plays, and what a big momentum shift that was, not converting for the Falcons on 4th down.
Here's Turner. He won't get it. And short yardage has done in the Falcons offense today. First guy there was Blackburn, but he wasn't alone.
Well, Chase Blackburn does a good job of filling the hole. And you see what Michael Turner sees. They get jammed up to the play side. He has no choice but to cut it back, and Chase Blackburn is sitting right there. And when you think about this Giants defense and the improvements that they have made over the last 5 games against the run, a big reason for that has been the arrival of Chase Blackburn.
They brought him back. Glad they did, as Tuck almost blocked that punt. Here's Blackman from inside the 25. Out across the 30, a flag is down. So the Giants will have the ball. Half a minute left in the 3rd quarter.
During the kick, illegal block in the back. Number 23 of the return team. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
They get Corey Webster for that shove into the back of Eric Weems. Got him twice.
3 times.
Twice from behind. So it's now 1st down for the Giants at their 15, up by 15.
We've seen the Giants special teams play improve as well, and one of the big reasons for that has been the fact that they're playing starters like Corey Webster, like Chris Canty, and Chase Blackburn. Those guys are contributing on the teams, and it's helped.
Yeah, Tuck almost blocked that punt. Guy who's had a number of injuries. Here's a pass caught. They're going to keep the clock running as Nix is out of bounds with an 8-yard catch. And we'll go down to Pam Oliver.
Joe, the Giants are down a couple of players. Cornerback Aaron Ross and running back DJ Ware are both done for the afternoon. Each has suffered a concussion. Back to you.
All right, well, that's something to keep in mind, not just today, but going forward as the Giants hope. They'll be in Green Bay next Sunday. Into the 4th we go. 17-2 game back after this from your local Fox station. As we welcome you to the start of the 4th quarter here in the Meadowlands in MetLife Stadium. Giants have it on 2nd down and 2. Toss to Bradshaw, running right. Picks up the 1st down, and as usual does not go easily as Eli Manning is looking for his first home playoff win. He won it all, and the Giants did, thanks in large part to his play back in that 2007 postseason. But he's 0-3 in the postseason other than 2007. The Giants haven't won at home, their old home, since 2000.
Yeah, it's been a long time since the home crowd here has had a chance to get excited for a playoff game, you know, at home. Of course, the playoff run, all of those were on the road.
What else said? Hey, Ringo. Home, set.
On 1st down. Manning going to put it up. It's tipped. Might have been off an offensive lineman, David Boss's helmet.
I thought it was interesting, you know, coming in that here on this first play of this possession, they threw the ball, they completed it. You take a look at that last play, but Kevin Gilbride said, doink. hit Boston right in the head. But Kevin Gilbride said that he felt that he got conservative last week in that win over the Cowboys and learned from that and said we've got to stay aggressive. That's the way we play, and that's really the way that they have, or he has called this possession.
Delayed handoff to Bradshaw. He goes backward, backpedaling, getting 3 yards. Sanders on the tackle. Here are the offensive leaders with the day that Nix has had, including that career-long 72-yard touchdown reception moments ago.
Yeah, the Falcons defensively they've played well. I mean, it's just been a couple of big plays. There's a scramble by Eli Manning that kept that drive alive, the big run by Brandon Jacobs, and then of course the long touchdown pass to Akeem Nicks on poor tackling. But overall, this defense they've done a nice job.
3rd down and 7, 4 men on the rush. Bradshaw, first down. And they're going to number 44, Ahmad Bradshaw. A lot. Lofton on the tackle. And a first down into Atlanta territory, a play of 18 yards.
And David Deal, he's settled in now, you know, on John Abraham on that left side. And he's able to protect Eli's backside. Just a nice drive that they're putting together here for the New York Giants. You know, you saw Akeem Nicks and his numbers, and that's kind of the way it's been. I mean, considering these 2 receivers, he and Victor Cruz each having over 1,000 yards receiving this year, that if you're able to hold one guy down, it seems like the other guy then has stepped up and had a nice game.
Bradshaw with 5 catches. Now Jacobs gets one, and he goes forward inside the 45. Lofton on the stop, a gain of 4.
Yeah, I think Kevin Gilbride's doing a good job, or at least sticking to the things that he wanted to do. You know, again, they pick up the first down. Now it's first down rather than just run the ball, which is something they would have done in years past. And even though they're running the ball well here today, you know, he's still maintaining some balance and mixing it up and throwing it on first downs.
2nd and 6.
Set. Hey, easy.
Just got the play away. Pass caught by Beckham. And the backup tight end has a first down, brought down by Lofton.
I think one of the big changes here in the last 5 to 10 years has really been the command that these quarterbacks have at the line of scrimmage, and we witnessed that on this last play. We've seen it from Matt Ryan as well here this afternoon. But Eli Manning recognizes what they're doing. He turns protection, he blocks it up to the right side, and then comes back and gets a nice completion for the first down.
He has hit 8 different Giant receivers in this game. Last one, Beckham. Handoff to Jacobs. And Jacobs pushes the pile for another Giants first down. Kevin Booth was out in front of him as well. And the Giants now flexing their muscles here in the last quarter of play.
I think that if you're those teams sitting at home watching this Giants team right now it would be the Green Bay Packers. But you see a defense that's playing better. You see a running game now that's starting to develop for the New York Giants, and you're starting to think back to a few years ago when they made the run to the Super Bowl. This team's coming together at the right time.
Spotting of the football's got everybody's attention here in the booth. Now it's Jacobs. Looked like he picked up the first down enough on that first down carry, and now he does on 2nd down, according to Carl Sheffers. It is a first down here with under 10.5 to play in what is a clock-eating drive for the Giants.
And we see Tony Gonzalez, and with the clock ticking away, I mean, here's a guy who's had a Hall of Fame career and done some unbelievable things and has yet to experience what it feels like to walk off the field from a playoff game with a victory.
Number 2 all-time in career receptions to Jerry Rice. Winless in the playoffs. End zone. And caught for the touchdown, Manningham.
Starter, he's been out for most of this game, and you got Sanders right here in the middle, and he settles just enough, and And that just enough allows Manningham to get in behind him. And what a great throw here by Eli Manning. Was not his first look. He was looking to his right and comes back to Manningham down the middle, and you can't walk it to a guy any better than that.
27 yards. And we've shown a lot of Kevin Gilbride, who told us, you know what, Mario's not feeling real good about himself. He missed 3 games with a bad knee, came back, did not have a catch, as you said earlier, against Dallas last week. Well, he's feeling good, and so are the Giants, and so is this packed house here in the Meadowlands. Forget about taking time off the clock, into the end zone to make Justin Tuck and the Giants happy, up 22. Falcons have had a great run under Mike Smith, Matt Ryan, Thomas Dimitroff, the GM. However, the group is 0-2 in the playoffs with that wild card loss in the desert in 08. And then last year, as the top-seeded Atlanta Falcons lost at home big to the eventual Super Bowl champion Green Bay Packers. And now they're staring without a big comeback here today with under 10 to play at 0-3 in the postseason, despite all those great regular season numbers.
Yeah, that's right. And when in 08, when you lose, you know, he's a rookie, Matt Ryan is, and you just think, hey, we had a nice year, which they did. You don't think a lot of it. But then last year, home field advantage, losing their first home playoff game. You know, then this year, there's some real pressure on you, and now to be looking at 0-3, it's going to be tough for this organization.
A few bounces into the arms of Eric Weems, and they're trying a little trickery with the reverse. It's Anton Smith, and he is out across the 25, not much. And congratulations to Eli Manning. That 27-yarder to Manningham, his 11th postseason touchdown pass, passing Phil Simms. It's been a second half dominated by the Giants offensively. Atlanta led 2-0 after the safety early, and it's been 24 straight points by the home team. Three-score game as Matt Ryan takes over and unloads, and so did Deion Grant on Roddy White. Incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Well, Deion Grant's just keeping his depth because they know with the game, the score that it is, that they're not going to give up a big play, and you know he sees that coming the entire way. He's just able to drive right on the ball,
and he drove right into the shoulder of Roddy White, not the helmet. No flag. 2nd and 10. This one's tipped at the line. Jason Pierre-Paul was involved, and now Roddy White gets into it with Corey Webster. They've been across from each other all day long.
It looked like Rocky Bernard was the guy who got the hand on the ball, and you know we know what those outside rushers can do, as we talked about with Jason Pierre-Paul and you know Justin Tuck and OCU Manura. But when you start getting the production that they've gotten from the inside guys, Chris Canty and Bernard, like they have today, that's tough duty.
He called it. That was Bernard. Backpedaling, incomplete. Pressure by Tuck. And Ryan almost fell down before getting rid of the football. It's 4th down.
Well, this is why the Falcons were wanting to avoid this type of game, you know, and be able to maintain balance. And now with the score what it is, the Falcons have no choice but to throw the football, and so these guys tee off. And that's hard on that offensive line. I mean, that was the thing that really hurt the Cowboys last week against the Giants, was getting down 21 points. And the Falcons were able to keep it close throughout the first half, primarily because of their defense. But now it's just pass rush time for this Giants front.
Roddy White and Corey Webster mixed it up again at the end of that play. No flags thrown. What a punt by Bosher. Inside the 15, it's Blackman. Penalty flag flies as the former Packer, Will Blackman, gets it up just outside the 24. But a flag is down. 59-yard punt from the rookie Bosher. Punted at Miami.
During the kick, holding number 22 of the receiving team, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
That's Derek Martin. These two teams, it's getting a little chippy out here between these two sides. Roddy White and Corey Webster have gotten into it a couple of times. Giants have it, leading by 22. Offense back on the field. First 4 drives. The end result was 2 points for Atlanta on the safety. Their last 5 drives, they've put up 24 points. Lead by 22, under 10 to play. Remember the lift their defense gave him on that stop. On 4th and inches, 3 plays later, 72-yard touchdown to Nix. Eli has added a 27-yarder to Manningham, and now here is number 27. Jacobs tripped up as he gets a first down for the Giants. A run of 14 yards. Dominique Franks may have saved the longest run of the year for Brandon Jacobs.
Well, it's an excellent job by that offensive line and David Deal securing the edge, but Akeem Nix at the wide receiver position also involved in blocking, and some of these long runs that we've seen here this afternoon. Yeah, the offensive line has to do their job, but you don't get those unless the receivers jump in there and get in the fray as well.
How about 154 yards rushing for the Giants today, and now more as Jacobs is taking over. 15 yards, Weatherspoon on the stop, and the ground game for the Giants has been building momentum at the end of the regular season, and they have one of their best days in a long time here today.
Well, they have, and offensive line coach Pat Flaherty has really done an outstanding job, not only getting his troops ready for this game, but all season long. I mean, they've had some. Chris Snead came out of the lineup there for a little bit. We've seen Mitch Petrus have to come in. Of course, the shuffling at left guard with Kevin Booth going to center. I mean, a lot of things happening all season long along that offensive line, but they've been pretty solid.
Here is Bradshaw, and that's Franks making the stop. We go down for a report from the Falcons sideline. Here's Chris Myers.
Well, Joe, Troy mentioned earlier the momentum shift after that 4th and inches try that failed for the Falcons the second time in the game, and the Falcon bench became a deflated group after that. Matt Ryan tried to stay positive, but not much being said over there. They're a dejected, agitated, and now an angry, desperate team.
And just to back it up, on 3rd and 4th downs today, Troy, on 2 or less yards for Atlanta, they're 1 for 5.
And had they have settled for the field goal there, that would have been a 5-point game then. They were down 8 at the time, but twice to get down there and not get any points was really tough.
Just get it away as Ballard makes the catch. Bring up 3rd down. Ballard good for 3. Owens on the strong tackle.
Those are decisions that head coaches have to make. Of course, we've seen it earlier in the season, the decision to go for it against the Saints. That didn't work. They ended up losing that particular game. But, I think if you feel that you're the better team, then I think you do the conservative thing and you come away with the points. And I think that in that situation as a road playoff team, especially early, you've got to be able to come off of those drives with something to show for it. Instead, the Falcons did not.
Now 3rd down and 6. 4-man rush. Manning throws sideline. What a catch. Manningham, who just turned in a touchdown, made the grab. 14 yards.
Well, it's good to see him get going if you're a Giants fan, because as you said a little bit earlier, Joe, this is a young man who has struggled with confidence a little bit. A lot was expected from him coming into the year, and obviously the emergence of Victor Cruz has taken the spotlight off of him, but he's the guy with real speed, and we saw him go in for the touchdown moments ago, and now you get him in the mix. They're going to create a lot of problems for these defensive backs.
Yeah, Cruz with just 2 catches for 28 yards. But it's been a big day for Nix, and now Manningham as Jacobs carries it for 4. Brought down by Weatherspoon. Next weekend will be a big weekend for us here at Fox. Why? Because on Saturday it will be the Saints at the 49ers, and it's looking like more and more a sure thing with the Giants and the Packers on Sunday late.
Those 4th down plays obviously are going to be pretty well scrutinized, here in the coming hours, but Sean Payton seemed to make it work for him last night, didn't he?
On second down, delayed handoff to Jacobs, and a nice play is made. A penalty flag flies. Daku got in there and made the stop. A loss of 2 with a flag.
Holding, number 76, offense, 10-yard penalty, second down.
It's another one on Snee. And just to go back to what you said, as you watch Snee, number 76, get flagged for the hold on Parade Jerry. Mike Smith was criticized for going for it on a 4th down at home in his own territory, a loss to the New Orleans Saints. Now in this game, he's gone for it twice on 4th down, came up empty, and on short yardage, a team that's one of the better running teams in the NFL. Again, 3rd and 4th downs with 2 or less yards needed for a first down. The Falcons are 1 for 5.
Well, those are calls that get dissected and scrutinized. And Tom Coughlin went for it on 4th down. They make it. They end up coming away with a touchdown. They go for it with Atlanta, and they don't. And those are points then that you don't get. But whether or not ultimately that would have changed the outcome of this game, I don't think so.
Giants in the second half, 5 of 6 on 3rd down. And it's 3rd and 8. Penalty flag flies. The Falcons came across early, and now Manningham is across the first down marker with 17 yards as number 82 comes alive here in this second half.
A similar play to the one that we saw Akeem Nicks make on the touchdown that he ran in. You know, just a shallow crossing route coming from the right side of the screen by Mario Manningham. Linebacker overruns it, and then it's a matter of whether or not someone's going to make a tackle.
Number 71 defense. That penalty's declined. Result of the play, first down.
They get Bierman. Meanwhile, it's 4 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown in this one for Manningham. Under 5 to play. And a first down at the 20. Low snap, pass caught by Nicks. Team Nicks is out of bounds with a minimal gain of 3. Chris Owens on the tackle.
Well, Kevin Gilbride, he's continuing to throw it, you know, and we saw that last night from the New Orleans Saints with a pretty sizable lead. They continue to play aggressively as well, and as we saw Drew Brees say after that game, hey, we're not going to apologize for being aggressive, and I think that's kind of what we're seeing now from all of these offenses, whether it's the Saints, the Giants, the Patriots, the Packers. I mean, these teams know that they've got to keep the pedal to the metal offensively, and that's what the Giants are doing here.
Second down and 7. Big hit on Bradshaw. It was made by Ray Edwards. No gain on the play. The clock continues to wind as it had stopped on that previous completion to Nicks. And as we look ahead, Troy, and you think about this Giants team going to Green Bay with the question marks injury-wise on the offensive line, Bulaga and Clifton both supposed to play for the Packers. It will take advantage of that bye week, and now a flag is thrown. Maybe too many men in the huddle. Will get the call from Sheffers. Now he just picks up the flag, and like it never happened.
There's no foul for 12 in the huddle. The 11th player left.
I mean, that offensive line next week will be tested protecting Aaron Rodgers against this defensive front.
They will be, and they were going to be tested even if all of those guys are healthy, and you know, we'll find out what their status is, but this group has proven that when they're on, and this is as healthy as they've been all year, they're tough.
Falcons came across early again, and this pass is dropped by Manningham. As Manning keeps looking for number 82.
Offside, number 93, defense, 5-yard penalty, third down.
They get Ray Edwards. That makes the third down conversion that much easier.
You see Mike Smith and the anguish that he's going through here with another playoff loss, and you know, as much good as he has done there in Atlanta, you know, 4 consecutive winning seasons. Him prior to getting there, they hadn't even had back-to-back winning seasons, and yet they've now reached that position that all good teams do, that regular season is no longer important. It's what you do in the postseason, and it's another letdown for this Falcons team.
Now 3rd down and 2, a toss to Bradshaw, nowhere to go. Weatherspoon was out there for Atlanta. Corey Peters as well, a loss of 2. Now it's 4th down, and the field goal unit will come on for the Giants as they lead now by 22. It's Tynes, who is 1 for 1 today. He's hit from 22. This one will be from 32. Snap, and the kick is no good. Wide to the right. And with under 3 to play, it's still a 22-point game here at MetLife Stadium. It's been for the Giants against the Ryans. First Rex, then Rob, and now Matt Ryan as they have taken care of number 2 for the Falcons. And they are looking ahead at a date with Ryan Grant and the Green Bay Packers next Sunday. Ryan's everywhere. Catch is made by Jacquizz Rodgers, a gain of 6.
You didn't really just say that. I did. Hey.
Anything to get you giggling. 2nd and 3. Richie Science, our producer, liked it. There he is again. Rodgers wrapped up and slammed to the turf. And they're going to throw a flag for that tackle on Jaquan Williams.
Unnecessary roughness, number 57, defense, for unnecessarily throwing the player to the ground. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
A personal foul will march the football all the way to the 45-yard line. Too much on that tackle, in the opinion of Carl Sheffers, our referee. 2.5 to go. Ryan for Jacquizz Rodgers. Spins for 8.
Well, you get into this situation of the game as the Falcons continue to go with the hurry up, and a lot of yards are going to be piled up against this Giants defense as a result of it. But boy, they've been really, really good throughout this game.
Pass is caught by Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez, who has not been a factor here today in this matchup with the Giants. Good for 16. 2 minutes left. We're at the warning in the Meadowlands. A day with the Packers next Sunday. Next up for the Giants, the Packers won here in week 13. A 3-point game. I think the Giants came out of that game feeling pretty good about themselves, even in the loss. And the Giants had that stretch where they were facing after this completion to Julio Jones. They had a 5-game stretch where they played 4 eventual divisional champs. Packers on that list, a 3-point win for Green Bay here. But there is recent playoff history between those two as Gonzalez makes the catch, good for 9 and a first down.
That game against the Packers and the way that they played against them gives them great confidence going into the game next week. They also took the San Francisco 49ers down to the wire earlier in the year.
This one down the middle and incomplete. Gonzalez closest one to it. Here is that Giant Packer history. First of all, their week 13 matchup. And the numbers for Aaron Rodgers: 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Eli Manning threw 3 touchdowns, had 1 pick. But then at the end of that 2007 regular season, the NFC Championship game. Eli Manning and the Giants over Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers, and then Super Bowl win over the Patriots.
Well, and because Eli had success in that game, I mean, there's going to be some good feelings, and he'll be going into that game confident.
2nd and 10, Ryan throws in the direction of Julio Jones, but not all that close to him. Now it's 3rd down.
You know, there's a lot of stadiums for quarterbacks, and I can speak from experience that if you haven't had success, you just don't feel good from the time you walk in the building. And I don't think that'll be the case for Eli Manning, even though Lambeau's not an easy place to play, and generally speaking, over the history of that franchise, hard to beat there at Lambeau. But because Eli has done it, he'll go into that game confident because of the way they played this year, and then also the success that he's had in years past.
Now on 3rd down and 10, that one off the left hand of Roddy White. And it's 4th down for Matt Ryan. We'll have to talk about his 0-3 record in the playoffs after this one. Mr. Tisch down on the sidelines with his Giants. Mr. Mara probably up above. John Mara, who had an interesting quote after that win over the New York Jets, and how much more important it was to beat their co-tenant here at MetLife Stadium. The start of what is now a 3-game winning streak. Matt Ryan goes down on 4th down. OCU Manura brings him to the turf.
It's probably appropriate that this defensive play that we've seen throughout the game today ends with OCU Manura coming away with a sack. He comes off the offensive left side there and just goes right through Svitek to Matt Ryan. We saw that picture there of Mr. Tisch, and it's one thing to win a regular season game against a tough opponent. It's such a better feeling when you win a playoff game like this. Obviously, there's a lot more at stake, but the anxiety that you come into the game with and the expectations, you want to make the playoffs, but boy, you sure feel bad when you make the playoffs and don't win a playoff game. And for the Falcons, they're going to experience that again, as we said. But for the Giants to come in and then win a home game here for this home crowd, that's a great feeling for that group.
A minute to go. Hand off to Bradshaw. And the Atlanta Falcons will just let it run. New York Giants, think about this season and where they've been. And Tom Coughlin, who has gone on and off the hot seat more than any coach in this league, has always handled the pressure with class. He's adjusted over the years after his initial years here in 2004, meeting with some of the veterans, Michael Strahan, part of that group. And he doesn't let his team see any of what he deals with away from the facility and all the whispers about his job security at all. And he's going to take his team, the New York Giants, into Lambeau Field against the Green Bay Packers next Sunday here on Fox. A team that started the year 6-2, lost 5 of 6, and now starting with the Jets, then the Cowboys, now the Falcons in the playoffs. His team has won 3 straight. On to the divisional round they go, and we go down to the field. Pam Oliver.
All right, Eli, to kind of have that personal monkey off your back to get that home playoff win, what does it mean to you?
It's special, and especially the first playoff win in the new stadium, in the MetLife Stadium. That's a big win today. Guys came out and defense played awesome. Second half, offense finally got going, ran the ball. Started hitting some big plays, so a great win today.
I can't let you celebrate long. Your thoughts as you head into Green Bay?
Yeah, obviously we know they're a great team. We played them, and we played them tough. So we just got to have a great plan, go in there, and give it our all. Hopefully our defense continue to play well, offensively hit some big plays, and see what happens.
Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Pam.
Let's go back upstairs to Joe.
All right, Pam. So the Giants with 442 yards of offense, 314 of them in the second half. They ran it for 172 yards. A win today at home over the Falcons. We'll bring it right back here after the break.